What's going on, everybody? Lazy Booking Podcast back here on A2D Radio after a week off with a Superstation 605 start. Thank you, Mr. Mataraki, for that one. We got lots to talk about. Big SummerSlam weekend, big things happening. So please like, subscribe, follow, join the conversation, and let's get it rolling.
Everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
Who's that kid? Nick. He looks like Beaker from Muppets.
The one on FS1, Nick Wright.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah. I got something
That's
for
amazing.
I
did not even. I love that.
If I get 5 women and they're all in the same room with me, we're going at it at 110%.
Welcome in, everybody. Like I said, Lazy Booking Podcast. We're back after a week hiatus, after a beautiful trip down in Florida, Andy.
I'll be there in 6 weeks.
I know you, John. I'm jealous of you. Anyway, we're back. And guys, what a weekend to come back and talk about. I mean, wow. First 2-night SummerSlam in history and so much that went down. We're going to dive into it. But first, a little bit of love to our sponsor, Dr. Paul Vidal at Specialized Physical Therapy. Physical locations in Burlington and Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can find them on the web at that website you see below, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. No appointment necessary, so any kind of aches and pains, new issues, existing issues, hit up his award-winning team, and they will set you on a course to get yourself right. Again, guys, I'm very excited to be on. It's been a week. It's been 2 weeks. And what a crew I got here today to talk about SummerSlam with. Oh, well, here he is. We right on cue.
What? It's like you predicted it.
We saw this coming. Yeah, there we go. Get the Stone Cold salute. Welcome for the, as Mike Mataraki called it earlier, the Superstation start time. Pete, the 6:05 start time.
6:05 start time. Saturday night, baby.
So is this like a run-in by him, or did he just forget to tie his boots and he was late for his entrance?
It might be. It might be.
He was busy going to the pay window.
I'm all. It starts when I show up. There we go.
Oh my God.
That's only by chance, not by plan. I am your host, Chrome. I'm joined, as always, by this crew right here. We got Andy Ritter-Ritz in this very ring, A2D personality, great guy, as well as Pete Evans as well from In This Very Ring and various A2D shows we've had. Mike Mataraki, legendary A2D personality over here. And kind of come more like a frequent, a little more than a guest co-star at this point. Eric Archer joining us once again. What's going on, everybody?
What's going on?
What's up going on?
We need to fix this real fast. So hold on. You need to be in the middle.
Fair enough. Sounds good. I'm
Pause.
not used to it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Not what I meant.
Sound a little weird. Got a little weird there.
It wouldn't be a show if we didn't.
That's true. Guys, SummerSlam was crazy this weekend. I think coming into it, night 1 and night 2 looked on paper like very different nights. I think a lot of people assume that night 2 is going to be the kind of blow it out of the water night. But man, did night 1 deliver? And both of them had unbelievable moments. But we have to start with this moment. Again, brought to you by our friends at Specialized Physical Therapy. It's our opening topic statement. Brock Lesnar, who returned after the main event. Brock Lesnar's shocking return at WWE SummerSlam was a smart decision for the WWE. Do you agree or disagree? And again, if you're in the comment section or wherever you are, like it, subscribe it, and I want to hear your opinion, and these guys want to hear your opinion. We're going to pop them up on the screen, and we're going to reply to whatever we get a chance to. So please make sure you guys drop your comments in. But let's start. We're going to go Andy, and we're going to horseshoe it around like this. So Andy, Eric, Mataraki, and Pete. We'll do it that way, and I'll cap it off.
I got to disagree with the decision, right? I think there's still too much surrounding Lesnar, good and bad. I think that you didn't necessarily need this. Oh, we lost Mataraki. There's one.
He didn't agree with you.
No. But This is
It
a
doesn't
joke
work
that
for me, brother.
I'm out.
we had a joke off screen. He goes, "How many times am I gonna have to restart my stuff?" And the over under was 4. So I
He
definitely
just gave you the Hogan accent of sorry, that doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
right.
out. There he
But
is.
anyway,
Mataraki with the Hogan accent there. Andy starts talking. You say, that doesn't
What?
work for me, brother, and just drop out.
so again, like I said, I'm gonna disagree. I don't think that it was the right decision with everything circling Brock Lesnar. Obviously, everybody popped. I mean, I popped for it too. I'm not gonna lie, and I think more from a shock value. But now that I've had time to sit and sleep on it and everything, I don't understand this. And then when you look at the amount of dates that John has left, when you look at how frequent we plan on seeing Brock Lesnar based on track records in the past, and then their shows coming up. Tell me this isn't a setup for Australia without telling me it's not a setup for Australia. And I think you could have done so many different better things with John with these last 4 months. Now, from a production standpoint, I thought it was done wonderfully. I thought from giving us the title card and the lower third and everything like that, I thought that was so well done. It didn't take away from Cody's moment. It didn't take away from John kind of soaking in that last moment as well. And then you lay him out. I thought it was so well done. But I don't think it was a right time to bring somebody back like that.
All right, so we got to disagree here, Mataraki.
I think I'm going to have to disagree as well. And
Turn your volume up a little bit there, bud.
let's go with that. Better?
Nope.
That went the other way.
How about now?
There we go.
All right.
Nailed it.
So I'm going to disagree as well. There's not anything about Brock Lesnar's return that I am in favor of. I think in a different time with a different opponent in a different circumstance, sure. I just think given the current environment, I understand it's, John's farewell tour, and he may have wanted to work with Brock one more time before he splits, but I disagree. I don't think it's a smart decision at all.
Eric?
So very conflicted as a lot of people are as far as, the timing of it and what's going on outside of WWE land as far as Brock is concerned. I think from a standpoint of a wrestling fan, you're excited for, of course I popped just like probably everybody else did, but I think part of me is kind of conflicted as to, the circumstances behind it. So, wrestling fan me is like, great, get to see him, not just Cena. Like if this is more than, just him coming back to feud with Cena, there's definitely a lot of fantasy matchups, even though, he's been gone 2 years. So, there's definitely a slew of, people that he could fight, and be fresh. But, considering the circumstances, it's not the best look for WWE as far as, the circumstances behind it, and still in limbo. Yeah, they don't have a whole lot of time with Cena, and that could be a part of it. But at the same time, I think there's definitely other guys that he could have, worked with, and it still be, entertaining as he's turned. Now he's a baby face. So definitely some matchups that could be there to be had.
Pete?
In ring, I agree, but as everyone else has echoed,
We're not splitting it, Pete. We're not taking any cop-outs.
well,
Give us
no,
one answer.
Eric just kind of split it. He said the wrestling fan in
I kind
you.
of did that already.
Thank you.
I thought about it. Let's be real.
Yeah. So like, but everything else surrounding it, I disagree because it is a different point in climate in society, and we all kind of know what kind of goes with Brock and what he's attached to outside of the ring. Not justifying and not trying to condone it in the decision. But for how quick and how much time you can kind of say they wasted kind of with this heel turn from Cena, this and him was the quickest way to get that immediately back. And hear me out. What if he doesn't even work? What if it's this? Who else could you have brought in after that? We've seen the black and white Titantron for the last 4 or 5 months. We get the old Cena. Let's go. We get Brock. Not saying he has to, we don't know if he's going to have a match. If they bring him back in that capacity, but just one thing, one moment, 2-night SummerSlam, they needed something big for right, wrong, or indifferent. People are going to talk about it, right? Everybody knows now he's full-fledged back to Cena. If you were on a Friday night SmackDown's promo, I was like, I don't know if I believe this or not. We'll get into it. The way Cody worked the match, still didn't know if I believed it or not. Now there's without a doubt. Cena is back. Hustle, loyalty, respect is back. And then where you go with it from here, who knows? We may not see Brock again until December, if we see Brock again at all. Right? So I don't know. How many days does he have left?
12.
He has 4 matches left.
So he has 4 matches left. I don't know. I mean,
one should be Survivor Series.
I wouldn't have done it, but also at the same time, Cena have a run in at the end of SummerSlam, and to turn Cena face unequivocally again. I don't know who else in that locker room made sense, or who else you could have brought back to do that.
But all right. So sorry, I want to cut you off just a minute there. Before
let's cut off the host of the show. I mean, that's all.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's sitting here on my brain, and I got it. Do you need it though? I said it to you guys before the match started, right? I said that John won the title because he had this chip on his shoulder. As soon as he gets rid of the chip on the shoulder, he drops the title. That could add another layer to him not trusting. Hey, I came back. I was the real John Cena for you for a night, and I lost 17.
Right. Well, I mean, my reply to that would be, if you go by the promo he gave, it was, I lost my way, and yes, I won a title, but I lost who I really am.
The title doesn't mean that at that point.
So at this point, though, if you throw all of your morals out the window, that's what you ended up having in the beginning. But then you can go the other route of, yeah, he didn't win the match, but that was arguably the best John Cena match we've seen in 10 years.
100%.
So I'm saying you actually got the best version of John Cena going back to being John Cena. Cody was just better on that night and moving forward. So that's the way you play it when you pass the torch.
And like you said, he lost his way to win the title. He's in the history books now. 17 is cemented. How good 17 was, how it wasn't. Titles now doesn't mean anything. But once again, when you say you didn't need it, I'm with you. But who else? What was the alternative?
Right. Yeah.
Who was the alternative?
100%. Yeah. I just think. All right. So everybody disagrees, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to be the guy to talk the other way. I'm going to break it. I'm going to talk within the margins and break it out of the margins. So we're going to talk in terms of the business first.
You told me I couldn't split it. I couldn't separate. Now you're doing the same thing.
No.
I'm agreeing across.
What are the rules?
It's an agreement across the board. I'm not saying, well, I agree with one half and disagree with the other half.
Okay.
I'm just breaking it down, and I'm speaking within and out of the margin.
I'm sorry, sir. As you were.
Thank you. I mean, Jesus Christ, my own show, and I can't get my point out? Damn.
No!
So listen. So shocked by the timing of it. I think we all expected it was going to happen, though, at some point. I really didn't. I think the majority of wrestling fans, I see your face, Eric, down there. Majority of wrestling fans that I have talked to over the last year and a half, everybody, I can't say 100%. I would say 85% of people I have had conversations with expected at some point. Now, it could have been 3 years after, could have been 2026, 2027. But I think at some point they expect, the moment they started mentioning him on TV again, because they didn't mention him for a while.
Yep.
They had conversations and talked about The Undertaker and the streak, and his name stopped being mentioned when the streak ended. So when his name was mentioned, frequently, might I add, when Hunter used his name, we knew it was inevitable at that point.
Yep.
It's happening at some point. I think that was, let's dab our toes in the water and let's see what the reaction is going to be. I do think in the interest of being fair, people, and I've really realized this over the last 48 hours, there are a lot of people who don't realize that Brock Lesnar is not named as a defendant. He is simply someone named, in this case for Vince McMahon. It's not like he went to Vince and said, give me this and give me that, give me this, bring me girls, like he was soliciting sex. He was simply, Vince said, Vince looked at it and said, I need to get this done, and went to her and said, go to him. So we have to understand, I'm not saying he's right in that, listen, the guy is probably a sex addict, and he cheats on his wife. So morally, do I think he's a great guy? 100% no. I mean, morally, his moral stance on life is probably not great, but he's not accused of anything as a criminal. He's just a guy who cheated on his wife, and Vince is the one who set it up. I mean, typically, even if you're the one who receives the sex, if you're a part of a soliciting or some kind of a trafficking ring, you are named as a defendant. He was not named anything, not even close to it. So I think we have to be fair in that, because a lot of people don't have an understanding of that. And I know we're getting deep into the part of that, but I think we have to be fair. So in terms of that, I think they did the right thing, and you need to distance yourself from this guy. Maybe he needed a distance to work it out with his family and but to me, at the end of the day, they have dropped the seeds. There has not been some overwhelming reaction of never bring Brock Lesnar back. They've done it for a year almost at this point. And he missed last year's WrestleMania, missed this year's, and now we're at the point where now we go into the storyline and business of everything, right? How do you surprise people? 75 million plus views on their YouTube page alone in 12 hours. They continually find ways to be in the conversation everywhere. ESPN, Dirt Sheets, FS1, they're always mentioned. And this was another massive story that was covered not just by Dirt Sheets, but by media outlets. Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest, I mean, it was mentioned that he was named in Vince's thing, but nobody ran him down in any articles that I read. So, I know we have if you have an understanding of what his situation was, and understand, there are people who we cheer for that probably done a lot worse. And we just don't know.
Oh, without a doubt.
So that's why I'm saying he just happens to be the one that we know. He is someone who loves to have sex and is, he's estranged from his wife. He likes to cheat on his wife.
Are they estranged?
I don't. Let me take that back, because I don't want to put anything out there that's not true.
Okay.
But he's someone who definitely cheats on his wife.
So does
Michael Jordan. So does a lot of professional athletes that we love and follow, men and women.
Yeah.
So we have to be fair in it. And I think that's why I get to the point. It was a great move. It shocked people. I mean, floored people. And if we can have the understanding of the situation, and then maybe we can kind of tame of how much we're going to ridicule his involvement in that, simply just because his name is named.
And I think, and I've always touted this, right? Anytime somebody returns or you have this shocking moment, right? I always wait till that next episode, right? So Friday will be very telling for me with John Cena's promo, because we all know John's going to address it, right? Do we get Brock Lesnar in Canada? Because he's in Canada, right? Do we get, because where are they, in Vancouver on Friday?
That's on the western side.
Montreal.
Is it Montreal?
Is that more central Canada?
Montreal is on the eastern side, eastern side, because I think they're going.
Montreal is basically due north of Philadelphia.
Perfect. Okay. So either way, he's in Canada. They're in Canada. It's a real easy trek over for him anyway. He's got to go home at some point. But if he's there, then I know we're going to go forward with this and we're going to start seeing Lesnar a little bit more. They're going to build towards something with this. If he's not there, then to Chrome's point, maybe we don't see Lesnar for another 4 months. Maybe we don't see Lesnar at all.
Yeah.
Well,
And he just came back and laid out Cena for funsies.
if I can, do you want? And Eric saw this because I sent it to Eric earlier.
Oh,
There was a report of what John Cena's last 4 matches are going to be. Would you like to hear what they are?
anyway.
I can't quote the source, so I apologize.
Yeah.
But I will read to you what I had seen earlier. So John Cena's anticipated last 4 matches are Clash of Paris against Brock Lesnar, John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio at some point for the Intercontinental title, and then Team Cena versus Team Rollins at Survivor Series War Games, and the
Takes pressure off.
I don't know if it's going to be 5 or 5-on-5 or 4-on-4. These are just 5 potential names on each side, but it has Cena, Orton, Punk, AJ, and Roman, basically the greatest hits of Cena, versus Rollins, Lesnar, Braun, Bronson Reed, and Gunther.
Good God Almighty!
Will Gunther be back by that time?
I don't know. So we'll see. Maybe this is he might be the penciled in part, and then the final match is expected to be Gunther.
And we have to assume that's Madison Square Garden, Smackdown, late December.
I thought
I think that's supposed to be. I think that's supposed to
Boston.
be a mass. I think there's a location for.
Yeah, they were going to do a PLE in Boston in December.
Okay, then
It's not a PLE.
Or Saturday night's main event or
It
something
was a
like
Saturday night's main event, if I remember correctly. That final match was the date of it was lined up for.
So it means in all of this, we get Lesnar twice in the last 2 matches, last 50%. So
I think Brock's back, man.
So Clash would make sense. Clash is in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Has he ever beat Brock?
He did. Actually, Brock's first PLE or pay-per-view, he came back. I think Cena beat him. It was that real bloody.
He got his ass kicked the
barred
whole match, but he beat him.
The
He beat him.
SummerSlam where he
Yeah,
got
he
the
got-
Extreme
shit
Rules.
kicked out of him.
Extreme Rules. Yep.
Extreme
you're right.
Rules 2012.
But then you have that SummerSlam that he got absolutely destroyed with all them. The Suplex City match where he got just destroyed. I think that's the one that everybody remembers. So I think, in that regard, it's kind of and I get where they're going. The greatest hits. Like, hey, like if you look at they've done Punk, they did Orton, they did Cody twice. Now you go to Brock, and if those are the matches, I think it's a good send off for him.
And then he goes out putting people over. You got Dom, Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you guys a question real quick, because I want to go back to something that Pete said earlier. Pete, and you said, who else?
Mm-hmm.
Is this a situation where Brock is, in case of emergency, break glass because Dwayne totally screwed them?
I think so.
He doesn't show up at WrestleMania.
Yep.
They essentially have to throw out his entire storyline. The perfect person to come out at the end of that,
was him.
Pay-per-view
1000%.
PLE on Sunday night would have been The Rock.
Yep.
To essentially,
you close the loop on Elimination
attack
Chamber
Cena for, turning his back on Rock's ideas.
Yep.
So I have to wonder, if in the inner workings of TKO, did Dwayne Johnson just screw them so badly that they completely got rid of the storyline and had to pivot in a completely different direction? And they bring Brock back because of the shock factor, because they have nowhere else to go.
I'd even like to piggyback off of that. He would have been the perfect final boss opponent.
Yep.
For John Cena.
Absolutely.
Especially even SummerSlam. He cuts the promo on SmackDown saying they left me, referring to Travis Scott and to Rock, I would guess. And then even not even showing up at SummerSlam, you could still get to that. Even you do the program with Brock Lesnar, you could still go to that as the final boss. Like, hey, like, all right, the greatest hits. He had 2 WrestleMania matches with Cena or with Rock. I mean, that would still be the perfect person.
So if you're talking about the greatest hits, Eric, right? If you look at who's attached to Cena, Brock is second. Brock is probably third on that list. I would go Rock, Punk, Brock.
100%.
Oh no.
No.
Edge.
Yeah.
Well,
Edge, Orton,
but you know, that's
Randy,
not
Edge and
not
Orton. He's like
realistic.
5. Edge and
Right,
Orton too.
I'm talking about realistic. Who's still within that can actually happen? I mean, Cope is
Orton. Randy Orton.
We had that.
They already did Orton though.
But
You talking about trying to make the shock factor and try to draw something out where you can close a book. He makes too much sense because, like Matty Rocky said, he would have closed the loop on EC. You had Elimination Chamber. You have a reason. What is this? We didn't talk about this. Whatever. Now, but like Eric said, we had 2 WrestleManias back to back. You know what I mean?
Everybody stop. The fact that it's August 5th, something 5 months after Elimination Chamber, we haven't seen Dwayne, and we're still talking about Dwayne being attached to this John Cena heel turn is beyond me. The fact
he started.
I don't care.
yeah, I mean, you can't.
No.
They just aired an entire TV show that an episode was dedicated.
I get it, but the fact that you've done nothing with that. There was no real acknowledgement of Rock afterwards. He kind of got a blowaway line and a promo overseas, right? The fact that all of that, and I get what WWE Unreal has set up. I get all of that. And it goes back to a conversation we were having off air, which I'm sure we'll talk to later.
Right? Wait, Andy, hold on. Did you not hear Cena's promo on Friday night when he basically said that this was someone's idea of great television?
Yes.
He was
I missed that line. I missed that line.
Talking about The Rock.
And when he told Cody the only platinum rapper that's going to be there on Sunday is me.
So I heard that, and I thought I didn't hear the other line.
Oh yeah, he directly called out The Rock and Travis Scott on Friday night. No question.
My apologies. I'm gonna sit
back down. You're good.
So I want to say, right? I think that you, like me and Eric have had this conversation. I think you're spot on. I definitely think they had to make a pivot here. Honestly, what I will say about the Unreal show, the episode, we've already referenced it. Let's just jump into it real quick. What I found interesting, I think regardless, that'll be a historical spot, right? Longevity wise, will it be? It's not going to be at the Hogan Bash at the Beach level. Let's put it that way, right?
No.
Right.
But it's still going to be great. I mean, you can still go back and watch 17 with Austin, and honestly, that was even worse.
Yeah.
Than what happened with.
This isn't as bad as that.
But to go back and watch the episode and see the process of how it happened, and then the execution, and nobody knowing and how they do that was like very, very cool. And I think that watching it is very clear that I think they expected Rock to be more a part of this. So I'm the cringy part of it is that Rock's like, yeah, I'm in. He's talking to him. We can do this and this. And he never showed up again after that.
Right.
So is it really on him just not deciding not to show up, or is it something else?
Well, if you remember, he was on McAfee right after WrestleMania, and he mentions, Elimination Chamber. We did the scene where Cena turned heel, and he said, "My job is done here."
Yeah.
Well, it goes back to, though, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy because I remember, because Pete, you and I talked about this in this very ring. We knew in like November, December that Rock's shooting schedule was going to keep him away from WrestleMania.
Yeah.
There was still that talks of Roman Rock at WrestleMania, everything like that, leading into the match for the Ulafala with Solo. And then the Elimination Chamber happens, And we're like, all right, but wait a minute, your shooting schedule we haven't heard that your shooting schedule has changed. So, like, I wasn't expecting him for WrestleMania necessarily, but what I think was the worst of it is that the fact of you do this,
Mhm.
and if you're Triple H and if you're Nick Khan and everybody like that, you still held on to some kind of hope.
Right.
Almost. It felt like you held on to some kind of hope that Dwayne would do right by the company and come back, but the man's got other obligations and everything like that. So why not back in on what was it? April 21st was the Raw after WrestleMania.
Mhm.
Why didn't you pivot then when you knew he didn't show up in Vegas? Why not on April 21st don't you pivot? Why do you wait till alrighty? Why not? Why do you wait until some random Friday in July
Right.
to say, oh, well, no, we're screwed? 4 months later, he's still not here. It's like waiting for a date at the restaurant for 6 hours. They're not coming.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
the part that's crazy. Now, I will say, we
Agree.
did touch on it. When they do the turn and you see Unreal and you hear Triple H calling everything, that was probably the best moment of the series for me.
Yeah, that was really, really fascinating.
It was like watching like Ocean's 11 or Ocean's 13,
Yep.
where they always have the scene where they're describing what the plan is,
Yep.
and they show the scene as it was like cinematic.
yeah.
Like it was
so
almost
cool.
like I had a rush watching it.
He's
seeing
going to
it go
tell
down.
him to
Come
go
to
at
this,
himself.
do a long shot, do a yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
I'm okay
okay
with
not
it. Let it
cutting
run.
And you wonder
Yeah,
why I
yep.
called it a work shoot.
Yeah, shut up.
Yep.
When he said that, I actually got a little chill. I was like, oh, this is intense. All right, this is well done.
Yeah.
It was tremendous, and if we get to the end of the show and we get a few minutes, we'll talk about that.
We're eventually
But
going
if
to get to
not,
the show.
I think we all highly recommend
Yes.
Oh yeah.
going
Definitely.
back and watching Unreal. I think it's done a lot of favors for people. I think it really highlights Charlotte really well in it too.
Charlotte, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Ashley and Charlotte are now mending into the same person, and I love it.
Me too.
And especially going into this bit with Alexa Bliss,
Yeah.
I think it really helps make all of that a little bit more believable.
And
So
we'll jump
Go ahead.
into that in 1 second. So we talk about Brock. Obviously, this comes off of the heels of Cody Rhodes winning his second WWE title. And, I mentioned it earlier. I'm going to get your guys' thoughts on it. This match was incredible. This is what I think we would have liked to have seen at Mania. I think they gave us the makeup match here. But, I mean, turn the clock back on John Cena. And maybe at that point he wouldn't have put on that level. Maybe these kind of in and outs even since then have gotten knocked off a little bit more of the ring rust. But I'm telling you, we got the best version of John Cena in a decade. I've seen the match. I've actually seen this match be thrown at us or the Royal Rumble around that time.
Mhm.
This feud at this time being thrown out as possibly the last time he put on matches of this quality. So I would like to get your thoughts, obviously, on Cody getting his second run as champion. Are we good with this? Are we happy with what we got from 17? And then, obviously your thoughts on the performance put on by both Cody and John Cena. So let's start the other way, Pete. Why don't you kick this one off?
I'm indifferent on 17 as a run as a whole. Now, with hindsight, what we just spent the last 10 minutes talking about, I wish it would have went differently because I think I'm happy with the opponents. I just think the matches that would have been done differently had he stayed face, what have you, or just had that edge and go into it would have been different. Him and Orton would have been differently. Him and Punk definitely would have been differently. Him and Truth would have been. Ron Killings would have been differently. Where he's on the milk carton again. We can get into that if we want. I don't know where he's at at all. But I'm definitely happy with the match. I think it's really outside of Royal Rumble 16 where he took the title off of AJ again. I think it's arguably 1A and 1B in the last 10 years. I haven't seen him perform that well since. I mean, him at Punk and Brian and Cena was at SummerSlam 2013.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
That was really good. Obviously, the summer before with him and Punk, was that the summer before or 2 years before that? That made I want to say
keep
then.
talking, I'll figure it out.
I think Cena Brock won Suplex City. I want to say that was 2011.
I think that was actually after.
Was that after?
All right, so Punk Cena.
They all blend together after a while.
Punk Cena was SummerSlam 2011. That's where Triple H was a special guest referee.
Okay.
And then in 2012, you had Lesnar Triple H at SummerSlam. And then 2013, drumroll please. That was Brock Punk.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Chrome, what is on your shirt, by the way?
Brock John Cena was 2014, okay. I'm sorry.
2014. So when was Bryan and Cena?
AJ and Cena.
That was the special guest referee one with Triple H.
And that's when
that was Randy.
cashed in.
Yeah, but Randy cashed in after that match.
After.
Yeah.
That led us to WrestleMania.
Oh, yes.
So that led us to WrestleMania 30.
Uh-huh.
Correct.
So, but wasn't that, and not unless I got the opponent one, wasn't that Bryan Cena?
It was.
Yes.
And then Randy cashed in, and that's when Hunter turned.
That was 2013. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, but hindsight, I almost couldn't believe what I was watching. I was like, is this really 40-something-year-old about to be 50-year-old John Cena, who's literally telling you he's just like, he said it unreal. My body just can't do it anymore. I physically can't do it. Hell if you can't. Because I was sitting on the edge of my seat. I ain't never seen somebody kick out an Avalanche F5. Attitude adjustment. It was really called an FU to begin in. I still call it an FU sometimes. I mean, I'm like, what are we doing? Oh, it was like, it almost felt like I was watching like New Japan, because just the close finishes in the match kept going on and on and on. And then Cody wrestling with that edge. And it's just like, all right. It made it seem like Cody now he had a taste of it. He wanted to finish the story. He had a taste of it, and he lost that. And now he's a changed man. Like, it's almost like now he needed the title, because he almost clutched the title as he left, as he walked out the ring. You know what I mean? He clutched it. It's like, okay, so now I want to see where this is going. But for Cena, like, I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more. And hindsight of events, it's kind of glad you had that, because I don't know if they didn't have that and they had the face versus face match at WrestleMania. I don't know if it's that. Like, I don't know if it's that, you know. So how things work out, I'm at least throughout all the other Mercury shit about what we have, I'm happy we had that. You know what I mean? Because that, to me, that match will stand the test of time. You watch that 10, 15 years from now, they did the 25 greatest SummerSlam matches. That has arguably can be on that at some point down the road.
Agreed, Eric.
So beginning was excellent. The ending was excellent. The middle, not so much. I do still think that, and I'm glad they at least tried, because you know what would have happened, and I it would have been like, what would have happened if they turned Cena heel? Yeah, they probably should have did it 10 years ago, 5 years ago, but at least they tried, you know. And I think it was that storm of Rock not being involved. I think the fans just clamoring to Cena, just, you know, his farewell tour, and people didn't want to boo him anymore. Right. They were appreciative of what he provided, and it was very challenging. And I think I'm glad they, you know, turned it back before it was too late. And I think they did as good as they could as far as, you know, explaining it. But I'm agreeing with, you know, that match was outstanding. He took a suplex off a guardrail, for crying out loud. Yeah. Like, the guy took punishment, and yeah, he looked fantastic. And I'm sure he was definitely hurting after that match. But I think it was a good move to pass the torch back to Cody. And I look forward to, hopefully, you know, yeah, I think this run is going to be strong, and I think they've set it up to where he's going to get an opportunity to the greatest hits, like him or not. The match with Brock is going to be must see, and it's going to be good. Yeah. And I think hopefully if those matches are what they're going to be, then I'm really looking forward to it.
Mikey. Mike.
You talking to me?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Okay, I could. Sorry, I could barely hear you. So I got a couple thoughts here. For me, I think that was the best John Cena match that I've seen since AJ Styles at SummerSlam 2016. Which, I mean, there you go. It was a great match, and to the previous point, I do think the beginning was great, the end was great, the middle had a little bit of drag. But for as much as we're all singing John Cena's praises, I think we need to give a lot of credit to the other side here. I mean, Cody Rhodes, because with Cody, I think there is a couple of different things in play here. Number one was the notion of, is he going to turn heel full-blown, or is he just going to go right up to that line and do whatever he needs to do to get his championship back? All the while selling his ass off like the sympathetic babyface until it was finally time for Cody to become his own version of Super Cena. I thought the salute at the end was great, if not a little bit corny and contrived. But I think the way that Cody approached that whole thing was really what sort of took John Cena and elevated him to that next level and brought a match out of him that we may not have really believed that he had. The thing that stood out the most to me was the spot where they came up the elevated platform with Cody on Cena's shoulders, and Cena carried him all the way down the ramp to the ring and then threw him back into the ring. I mean, Cody is a legit 215, 220.
If not more.
if not a little bit more. And for Cena to be able to do that at that point in the match and not completely blow himself up, I mean, that was fantastic. Really was. So
it's crazy how great his stamina is, and we can't get that out of Jey Uso.
And it was a great visual too.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, absolutely hats off to Cena, but I got to give some flowers to Cody as well for, the selling, the carrying the parts of the match that he carried, the emotion that was in the match, and then certainly the finish.
So, first of all, Pete, I'm really surprised you didn't get on your soapbox here about Cody being a heel.
It can still happen. We don't know what he's going to say on Friday. I've said this. Matter of fact, it's about the first time he's hearing me say this. Everything about Cody, he may be the son of a plumber. The man is off the loins of Ric Flair in '86 from the way he dresses, watch he has.
Every time I hear it.
Every time, like the way he doesn't carry the title, he holds it. You go back and you watch. We talked about the Superstation time when Tommy started. You go back and watch 605. Even when it's WCW in the mid '90s, Flair's out there holding the title. It's not around his waist. He's carrying the title. It can still happen, but I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm literally just poking the bear on that one. But I think the 3 weeks that we got overseas of John Cena that build up to WrestleMania, I think those were great. Mm-hmm. Everything past that sucked. He was a shell of Cena. He was a shell. The matches felt like he was just kind of on autopilot. Sunday night was like revitalized. It was exactly what everybody wanted. And I think it was Eric said what if, they turn John Cena. I personally, knowing that he was going out in December, I didn't want the turn because there are some things that you like. We're all nerds to a degree, right? As Marvel fans, you still play the what if game with a lot of different aspects
about it, honestly.
Exactly. So I would have loved to be able in December to play that what if game and be like, what if what if they turn Cena at this point or at this point or at this point? So for me, you could have done all of this without that. I think you would have gotten better. Not that the promos were horribly bad, but I think you would have gotten better promos. I think you definitely would have got better matches with Randy, with Punk. I especially those two. Those two were very, very disappointing to me in what I had hyped them up to be. But then you go to Sunday, and it was very reminiscent of, to a degree, of AJ coming out in TNA when they were doing the whole Aces and Eights versus TNA, and he comes out with a really dark music, and then it kicks over to his face music, and the place goes bananas, and they go to fight. That was what it felt like watching that, and they did it so well to where, as John's doing that, John's the face, Cody was the heel in that match because the place did not want to see Cody walk out with that title in the beginning. Now about halfway through, that crowd does kind of just be like, this is a great match and we're going to win either way. The spot with the turnbuckle, the bolt from the turnbuckle, right? That was when I was saying, this is when Cody's going to turn. This right here is what he's going to do. He's just going to beat John, bloody John, and win. I think it was something like, 8 AAs, 6 or 7 crossroads. The number was astronomical on how many different finishers they hit. The false finishes, the storytelling, I absolutely loved it. And the use of the outside, going all the way over to the stage area to set up for that incredible, which the imagery, and again, I think the best image of the weekend is the way the lights and Cena holding holding Cody. It was so well done. So 17, I think it sucked. The match, I thought it was great. If you would have told me that was Cena's last match and he was done, because there was a point where, like, they were kind of treating it like, almost, no, even though we know he still has dates left. If you would have told me that was Cena's last match, hats off to you, man. Hell of a career.
I don't want to see him go out on his back, though. I mean, I understand business is business, but
right. But if that is it, that was it, what a match to go out on.
They went 37 minutes. I saw.
Yeah, 37:45.
And if the 4 matches that he's rumored to have left are in fact true, is there anybody that's going to give him anything close to that?
Maybe Gunther.
I don't think,
but it's a different. It's a different style.
I don't think you need that at this point. You got it. Like, you know what I mean? I think Gunther will get 20 minutes out of him. We saw him do it with Goldberg, so I think, for me, I do think 17 was a success, and I'll tell you why. There are times where championships are put on people, particularly at the end of their career, to reach certain milestones. And it's kind of it just feels anticlimactic. They win it, they drop it the next time they have the belt, right? Or maybe like a match or two later.
Right.
I think with this, and I think it would have been a successful run if they did the John Cena Greatest Hits Tour. However, I don't think you could have gave John Cena the title in the Greatest Hits Tour. And I personally have won it, and I've said it for years. A bunch of you guys did shows with me for years. Eric, we've been friends forever. I have said that I want Cena to get to 17 and pass Flair. Flair has said it. This is when Cena was running up and down the roads full time. And to me, at this point, to create that, and the other thing is, every match would be face versus face. It's not like Punk's a heel.
Right.
It's not that Orton's a heel.
It's all about respect.
All of those guys are so over at this point that they're not heels anymore. So how do you create a different perspective without really kind of affecting your long-term plans for everything.
Yeah.
Turn John Cena.
Yeah.
And I think the pay, it's unfortunate that the we won't know what the payoff would have been.
Right.
But to me now, if the substitution is I can have whatever the payoff was a month from now with Rock, or I get this unbelievable classic with Cody that I honestly didn't think that John Cena had in him as a lifelong, or not a lifelong, but a career-long John Cena guy, I want that match.
Oh, you're
I
not
have to
going to
go
call
back
yourself
and
a
really
member of
enjoy
the
that.
C Nation?
Yeah, I am. Eric, remember I was wearing the purple shirt, buddy. Eric was with me at Raw when I was
Tell me
wearing
there's
the
pictures of that.
Yep.
I still have the shirt. I'll wear it on the show one day. But listen, I literally have 8 John Cena shirts. I wanted to see 17. I think they gave us a different perspective, and now they give us enough of a time frame that we can get, the
Nostalgia. We get the good old boy back.
We do. And in the meantime, you got your Hogan Warrior Torch Pass moment. You got your Hogan Rock Torch Pass moment.
Yep.
We're now, and that, I think if we learn anything in Unreal, Cody is as close to the John Cena white meat baby face or whatever they call it as you are going to see. I don't think they intend to turn him heel anytime soon now.
Right.
I think
I'm actually glad I didn't watch that show before SummerSlam.
Oh, you watched it afterwards?
Well, yeah. So I thought I thought going in that he was going to turn heel. I thought we were going to get either Cena, this was all bullshit, and this was hey, and then you know what? I pulled the wool over your guys' eyes. You guys are such suckers. Mm-hmm. I thought we were going to get Rock, or I thought Cody was going to turn heel. And we didn't get that.
I was hopeful for Rock, but I wasn't counting on it. I was like, all right, maybe they're pulling, like you said, pulling the rug from underneath, and we're gonna get Rock, and we're gonna fix this, and he's pulling a swerve and staying heel. But I think they made the best, like I said before, made the best out of what they had, with what they had to work with. And I think now there's time to salvage. There's time to salvage and make it worthwhile. Absolutely.
It was like, okay, this is where we're at. I think you did get some good stuff out of it. And again, you saw something different from Cena. Sure. But at the end of the day, everybody, Eric, this, our friend Nick said it best. This is the one time where everybody wants to cheer John Cena.
Yeah.
So you now give them that and give them that opportunity. So everybody's
going to cheer him against Brock Lesnar. That's for sure. You're not going to have a problem with getting cheers for Brock Lesnar.
To your point, though, when you talk about Cody and turning heel, I think you're spot on that WWE doesn't want to turn him heel. They want him to be the biggest white meat baby face that they've had since John Cena. But you heard Cody say to Triple H, we'll run it until the wheels fall off. So I think Cody, deep down, believes that he's got a shelf life as a babyface and inevitably wants to turn heel at some point. And Triple H is just like, no, we're not letting the wheels fall off. So we'll see how this shakes out.
Yeah, no, I don't know that you could recapture the magic at the level that it is now if you were to turn him heel anytime soon. I think once you do that and that taint is there, that character is not ever going to be the same character right now.
Agreed.
I will say, though, I don't think they can turn him right now because who is going to replace him? I mean, you've got
that's the problem.
You've got baby faces right now, but Randy Orton doesn't have a whole lot of time left. CM Punk probably doesn't have a whole lot of time left. Who are some of the other? Jey Uso is definitely not going to be that guy. Roman Reigns is probably your one if you had him available, and he's probably not going to be around much longer. So you have to have Cody Rhodes as your guy right now.
I have a guy in mind,
I think to Mataraki's point, though, right? Like, it's not that we're saying let's turn him heel next month at later this month at
Right.
Clash or
Oh,
in
yeah.
Australia, right? This is, guys, we didn't just see a passing of the torch and hey, you're the top dog, you're the face of the company. No. Here's literally you're the never turning heel baby face card.
Right.
You hold on to that for the next God knows however long. And when you see the new guy, give it to him. And that's literally what this was. This was, here's all my character traits, all my personality, all my stats. Here you go. I'm out.
In my mind, we're talking about if they did turn him, who are the baby faces? I mean, I look at NXT and I'm like, there's not really any great baby faces there. I mean, I'm not a big Javon Evans guy. I love Trick Williams, but he's a lot better as a heel than he is a baby face. Same with Obafemi. I mean, Joe Hendry.
Sign Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry.
Sign him.
I mean, is that the guy?
It's inevitable.
I need a button.
I mean, it could be Saints, but I think what we saw Sunday is it's a hot take. Listen, I don't think it's a hot take. I think John Cena is the greatest face of all time. Hands down. I think he's better than Hogan. I think he's better than Sting. Because, like you said, Cody said to the wheels fall off. The wheels never fell off for Cena, even when he was Super Cena and we all hated it. They never fell off. Now, I will say Sting had a chance in WCW, but obviously things happen in NWA. He had a chance. I think different times. I mean, obviously we say Hogan, but Hogan essentially was 84 to 93, 9 years. This dude's been this for 20 years. 20 years. We'll never see this again.
And he's been the same flipping character.
Same George, you hate it. The stupid shoes, the shirt, the running to the ring.
We just dropped some dumb things like pumping up the shoes before the five knuckles.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, but like you said, now more than ever in these last 4 months, if there's one thing we can say how they handled it, right? And we didn't like it so far, but now everybody for 4 months is just going to be so red hot. And I would say when his matches that he had up until this point, when we sit there and said, I heard something, somebody said something about the pacing of Roman J versus Braun and Bronson. Jay and Roman are used to working a main event pace. They're not. It's almost the same thing with Cena. He main event pace, but as a heel, it was different for him.
Yeah.
It was. You could tell it was definitely different, and not to take anything away from whatever, right? But it's just different. And working as a heel, working as a face, and you see Sunday he got back. It's just like riding a bike, baby. It's just like riding a bike. He got back on that, and imagine what we would have got in Saudi with him and Punk. If that was it. Obviously, like you said, Chrome, you said it so well. Like these guys that he wrestled so far, he's worked with, you're beyond face heel. You're just who you are, right? You're just Randall Orton. Like you're just, whether you do this, whether you do that, fans are going to still sing your song. They're still going to love you regardless, right? And then once you get into the match and how you're working it, things may develop. So I don't know. I will long shot, and Andy's heard this. I know Martian and Don. Where am I going with who is the biggest face in the next 3 years in WWE?
Just out with it, man. We haven't got that much time left.
Dominic Mysterio, hands down, has a chance.
I mean, it could be.
It could be.
And let's use that let's transition real. I can't believe I have to say real quick, but we got so locked in on Cena and
an hour later, real
Cody.
quick.
So let's jump into. Obviously, we're going to touch on highlights too, but I do want to. We have to get into how night one ends, right? So you get after what I think was a lot of really big time spots in this show, you get kind of like a classic technical style wrestling match. Like a break.
Philip got his ass beat for like 20 minutes.
He got his ass beat for 20 minutes. CM Punk and dude. I'll tell you what, when Gunther was busted, oh my God, that looked atrocious.
A hematoma on your face, bro?
Yeah. But CM Punk comes back, and after, what was it, 11 years or what is it? What was the number?
Mhm.
11
11.
years since he had his last title run. He or held the title. He ends
Held a
up
world title in
winning-
WWE.
Yeah, he
Yep.
ends up winning the World Heavyweight title.
It was 5 minutes and 20 seconds.
Only
like that.
Yeah, only
And
for
in
the
the
music to
process,
hit.
becomes the first and only person to hold both the AEW and WWE World Heavyweight Championships.
This is true.
Fair. That
This
is
is true.
fair. Great point there, Mataraki. Yeah. So there you go. So we have a former AEW champion becoming the World Heavyweight Champion now. And then obviously the music hits. I saw this one coming personally. Oh.
Yeah.
I sat on this channel. I don't remember if it was my show or your show. And I sat here and I said, watch, it's going to be a swerve. He's not going to be hurt. And then we spent like 15 minutes saying, nah. It's real. It's this, it's that. He's really out. He's really hurt. And then what happened 96 hours ago? That schmuck walked out with crutches, dropped the crutches. The place went batty. And once again, the best in the world was right.
I mean,
So, Andy, you were saying earlier about the image of what you had in your mind as the image of the weekend. In my mind, the image of the weekend is when Seth turns around and basically waits for the Tron to go all to the red fire. So he gets the really, really fine, crisp looking silhouette and then takes the crutches and
I have one gripe with that though.
Of course.
Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman.
No.
So
Paul
here's
Heyman holding the briefcase.
Yes.
He told it. He told it before it happened.
Gave it away from me.
So here, to your point.
Also, I love this.
Yes. Girlfriend, yeah, she loves.
I know. We know who. That's why the comments.
Yesterday was the 1 year anniversary since me and her met Joe Henry.
Rub it in, why don't you?
To your point, I actually did not notice Paul Heyman the first time I watched it. However, I went back and I rewatched it again, and I said to myself, Paul probably should have moved out of there.
and right at the end, right before they zoom in on Seth, he does take like 2 steps back. But to Don's point and Chrome, I hope you don't mind if I hijack a second.
Sure.
Where we go?
Oh, I was gonna tap on.
He's frozen. See what happens when you be right? You'll be frozen. Yeah,
I was gonna say something real quick.
I guess. Go ahead, Eric.
Now, so the only thing that I would have done differently, and I'm not even talking about the cash in itself, but the timing of the cash in. Remember, back when Punk came back, or maybe he'd been back a little while, but there was a promo that Seth said that Punk will never be World Heavyweight Champion as long as I'm here,
and he was.
And he became the World Heavyweight Champion. So the only thing that I would have changed is, and I know they've done that, and they with the triple threat, but if he's gonna keep him from being the World Heavyweight Champion, what better way than to cash in during the match?
Just like he did at 30-31.
Right.
And
right.
you also
and that's the only reason
that's the only thing I would have changed.
Because they'd already done it. You're spot on.
I mean, me personally, I would have loved to cash in on Monday night. I would have let Punk have that shine on SummerSlam. Let that go out. Have him come out, do whatever. Still had to cash in. I still think, because once again, the Brooklyn crowd would have been so hot.
Yeah, but armchair quarterbacking this now, knowing what we know.
That's the whole purpose of the show.
Right. But I'm saying that you can't not have something on night one, because then it gets completely overshadowed by Lesnar coming down on night 2.
Punk himself winning the first time in 11 years or whatever wasn't big enough to carry night one?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So here's a scenario for you. Let's say Punk wins night 1. They go off the air with Punk celebrating. Night 2, Cena by hook or by crook wins the match against Cody, and you want to turn Cena babyface, you have Rollins cash in on him.
Well, see, and that was something else I thought was going to happen.
I would love that. And I mean, I just want to go out and say this. I don't even listen. Seth not even a leader in his own damn faction.
Also, yes.
If you watch last night, you watched Raw last night. Where is Paul? Who is he with? And I don't even say different. He's with Braun the whole time. I just rip the Band-Aid off.
But now, Pete, I got to ask you a question, and I'm being dead serious when I ask this.
Uh-oh.
Is he with Braun because Braun is a Steiner, and if he doesn't hold on to Braun
he's off the rail,
completely off script, off kilter, off everything?
So
he's off the rail.
We were at Raw in Houston a few weeks ago, and if you watch, like, I don't know what you guys saw on the cameras, but Paul was legitimately at certain points holding Braun, going, no, you stay right here next to me.
Yes,
let him finish. We're not there yet.
He has so much adrenaline. That's why we talked about the pacing. Once he figures that out, so for instance, Dom is nowhere near physically as gifted as Braun, but Dom has the pacing down on how to work the match. Once Braun gets to that point, then it's this, everything's off. Like you just
listen. Dom's a 20-year veteran.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's ask the question, right? Dom puts on a match with AJ. By the way, in this matchup, speaking of the 20-year veteran, I loved the callbacks. I loved the tactics. Even just AJ's attire. Like who would have thought 20 years later, for the custody of Dominic, that it would be such an iconic match? Now, obviously, we know there are other circumstances too, was Eddie passed away shortly after. But still, like, so many classic Eddie matches. And this seems to be maybe the most talked about match of his career. It was a tremendous match.
Yeah.
They could have hung, sneakers at the end, at the top, like frickin'. And by the way, I love that Bronson's stealing sneakers. By the way, it's so old school bully. I'm gonna beat you up and take your shoes.
Shulafala.
The tribal thief.
This is so dumb. The puns are stupid.
No, they're phenomenal.
No, you're children.
It's so good. It's so good. I love it though. Old school bully. I'm gonna beat you up and take your sneakers. I'm in on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was just such a great match, and so I ask you guys. Some of you have answered this already, but like, what is the goal here? Like, where?
For who?
Or like, how high is Dom going to get here?
World champion, baby. He's about to win a world title next Saturday.
You think he's going to end up?
They would be absolute fools not to pull the trigger on that.
Why else are you streaming it on WWE social media?
Well,
and then you saw who the other people on Grande Americanos are. It's JD and Finn. Finn's kick gave it away.
Don't even get me started on that bullshit.
Which El Grande Americano? Which one?
Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate.
Yeah.
Damn it.
So
boy, did they really kill the steam on that thing, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he has a shoulder injury, right? Gable?
Yeah, he's going to be out a little. I think he's going to be out a little.
Then the schmuck went to a Twins game and revealed it was him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael Cole even called it.
And
if no one would have said anything, if nothing happens, it's fine. The illusion's still there. Michael Cole goes on Raw and goes, well, Chad Gable just revealed in an interview with the Twins that he had a match at WrestleMania. What are we doing?
Right, like Michael Cole has been calling El Grande Americano Chad Gable the
It's
whole
actually
time.
No,
part of the
no,
story.
I
So
get,
that just plays into the storyline.
it absolutely does.
Like I could see them saying, go on there and say it so that we have that. It's more to feed into the commentary because Michael Cole, for all intents and purposes, a part of that storyline.
Yep.
But I was even fine with Kaiser. You want to fill some time and keep the character alive. And
They were so
let's
different.
do a confusion with the creeds. And then when he comes back, he kind of reclaimed, I'm good with it. But now why do we have Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates? Am I right? Tyler Bates?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's legit. I thought you were joking.
Why?
No, that Tyler Bate was supposedly he was the third.
See, now you know what I'm gonna do.
Grande
Next time I
Americano.
see him, I got to look at the
They
quads.
showed pictures of him. You can tell the one was definitely Pete Dunne.
Oh yeah, Tyler Bates' quads are like bigger than Saquon's. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Tell me this is going to lead. This is all for fun. But if you don't give me a War Games match with a bunch of Grande Americanos versus like the Judgment Day, I want nothing to do with it.
Wait, are we looking for the King's Court versus Doink Dink Pink and Stink?
Sure.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Hold on, though. Andy, think about
Or all
this
the
for a second, though.
Bushwhacker-
Where is War Games?
Bushwhacker and Men on a Mission.
Yeah.
Doinks on a mission.
Oh
San
my
Diego.
God.
War Games is in San Diego. Literally like a hop from Tijuana, Mexico.
Oh my God, that would
We could
Yeah.
get this.
Yeah, we're going to get this.
There is
I-
a restaurant in
listen,
San
that-
Diego
don't
called
get us into
Lucha
War
Libre
Games.
where they have
Traditional
masks sold
5-on-5.
on the walls.
I know that. That's awesome.
Traditional 5-on-5. Who are they going to go against? Just 5 luchadors?
5 versions of El Grande Americano.
Yeah, you get
That's
5.
one team.
Yeah.
Who's the other team? There's
So you
5
got
luchadors.
Ray, Dragon Lee, Penta,
Penta. You could,
Phoenix.
do Penta, you could do Phoenix.
and
Yeah.
then you could go Andrade here.
Iguana Man,
Ooh,
There you go,
Oh,
Iguana
there
Man.
you go.
There you go.
Mr. Iguana.
Mr. Iguana.
Because isn't he in that match next week?
No,
No.
Who is?
it's Vikingo, Dom, El Grande, and then I don't know the 4th guy.
Hold, please. Keep talking.
Wait, I can say it again. Who did you
Just
say?
Psycho Clown?
So Grande, Vikingo, Dom, and then the 4th guy.
It's somebody on the WWE roster.
It's Dragon Lee, El Grande Americano, Dom, and Vikingo.
Okay. Come on. I mean, I love Vikingo, but if you trying to elevate AAA, like the dude,
Dom's
like
a
he's
heat
just,
magnet.
yeah, he
Without
he gets
Dom?
cheered. Arguably, we can go back. Who had the biggest pop at WrestleMania 41?
Dom.
Yep.
Well, what was it? Was it last week or when we were in Houston? It was during the women's match. Everybody was chanting for Dom.
Yeah.
I want to overbook the shit out of this right now. I want to have El Grande Americano win the match and take his mask off, only to reveal another mask on under that and have it be Rey Mysterio.
That would be amazing.
But
Yeah,
that
it would.
So when you talk about turning Dom face, eventually, that's the way to do it. Like for whatever reason, he saves his dad.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know how you get there, but
it's the full circle moment, right?
Yep.
Obviously, Jelly Roll. We can't get off. You know, we can't get past.
I was surprised he made it to the post show, bro.
Oh my
too.
God!
Me too.
Like
That
so,
guy.
Obviously, if you should have watched if you're watching the show. If you haven't,
How have you missed it? How have you missed it?
a lot of credit to Jelly Roll. Again, you know, I look at certain guys who come in and ladies who come in and they do certain spots. And they'll come in and they'll have some fun and this and that. I mean, you could see the commitment. You could see the commitment. And I mean, he literally came in, tagged himself in, and took an ass whooping for the first 8 or 9 minutes of the match.
Yep.
How about him selling that after that table spot? He's selling him being crawled to the back, and then he does that little glance.
He did the
and
Foley.
He's like, "Am I coming back?" And the crowd was so into that match.
I'm not gonna lie. I was so
Ate it up.
apprehensive about this match,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
I
I
I was like, General is gonna do what General like. It's not gonna be the greatest thing ever, right? And starting off when he tags himself in, and then like to Chrome's point, gets his ass whooped, and then does the Foley bit. By this point, I'm hooked. I'm in it. Like I was so excited.
Gotcha.
Like even the fact now I watched it back afterwards, right? And you can see certain spots. It's like, All right, yeah, you can tell it's his first match and this, that, and the other thing. But damn it, him taking that frog splash through the announce table was a thing of beauty. I thought he was dead.
And he didn't flinch, not a centimeter.
Not one
Well,
bit.
his technique was phenomenal.
He was like this. He was like this.
He was taught very well.
Well, it's not even just
the
that
producer
spot.
and the truck did
The
him
frog
no favors.
splash at the end to take the.
Yeah, it's not even that
the
spot.
pin.
I even thought he did really well where a couple of times he was slightly out of position, getting himself into the proper positions. I mean, tremendous showing for Jelly Roll. It makes me want to see him get in there again.
How old is he?
Huh?
He's got to be close
40.
to. He's 40.
He's 40.
Yeah.
I will say this: Logan Paul's fucking great.
That makes me so mad to say that out loud.
So good, it's ridiculous. I'm jealous.
I mean, so Jelly was on McAfee a couple of weeks ago, kind of helping to promote this. I think it was the day they were of the ESPYs.
Didn't I send it to you guys and tell you guys to watch it?
I didn't watch it from you. I watch McAfee every day. So. You might have, but in it, he specifically talks about his time in his training, and he talks about working. And he said, like, curtain pulled back for a second here. He said all three guys who are involved in this are not only on board, but they are excited. They work with me. They encourage me. Talking about Drew, Logan Paul, and Randy Orton, obviously. So I said it before. I'll say it again. And I even go back to McAfee's show last year, WrestleMania 40. I think the whole Logan Paul thing, listen, he is a great brand ambassador for himself.
Yep.
But I think he's got a bigger heart than people believe. I remember him talking last year on McAfee, talking about how, he plays his character. But to him, he looks at a kid. It's like everything he wants to inspire children to do it. And he treats like kids like tremendously. And that's like a motivation for him, is to inspire kids to make something of themselves and want to be a WWE super. And that right there, I was like, all right, I'm sold on Logan Paul. Like, he's not just like, oh, I enjoy him. He's a great wrestler. I think at the core, he's a pretty good person. It's just, in today's society, sometimes you have to make a jerk off of yourself to get to anywhere, and he's willing to do it. Some of us aren't. He is. That's one of his characteristics.
You could tell they were all having a good time in that match. Mm-hmm. Drew McIntyre, his personality, and you've seen it online too, and over the recent months, like, this guy has become a bona fide star. Just the way he carries himself online, and just the way I just love it, and I think that's the next guy for Cody. When we talk about that, he's
true.
He's probably next. I would say.
Somebody asked that earlier.
Yeah, I did see that. I think he makes sense because they've kind of planted the seeds a little bit. He's like, Cody, you're next. We have to do this. That sort of like that whole thing. I think that would be perfect for France. But going back to that match, I think it was just like, you could just tell they were having a great time, and you could tell when they're having a good time, the crowd's into it, they feel it, and it was just a perfect formula for must see TV.
Yeah, and you could, like, the execution of the Black Hole Slam, the high impact moves that he did. He was protecting himself, but he was also protecting Drew and Logan. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get that immediately, and you don't get to that point if you don't take it serious. Like, we've heard the story. He was down there for like a month.
No,
already.
3 months. He had moved down there on that McAfee show that Chrome was talking about. He says he had secretly moved to Florida and been in the performance center for the last 3 months.
Wow.
And in one of his training sessions, he was there for like 3 hours. He mentions that Undertaker and Michelle got on the ropes and talked with him through his training. He had wrestled Jacob Fatu for like 3 or 4 hours one day. Like, everybody was down there helping him, and it showed, right? It showed definitely on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Can I just say one more thing on that real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Huge, the comparison. We talk about the celebrities. Look what happened with Travis Scott. Travis Scott came in and did the one spot. He and then
Cody
did
left.
WrestleMania, and from behind the scenes, it sounds like he wasn't willing to put in the work. And then you look at Jelly Roll, like it's just like it was. Like you just that's
Night
the
and day.
comparison right there. Who wants to do it and who wants to put the work
Well,
in?
he'd been wanting to do it since last year.
Right. Oh yeah. He told I forget, it was either on Stephanie's podcast or somebody's he was like the word was he knew he was gonna lose the weight and get down under 300 pounds, and once he was under that, there like it was a full go.
Yeah, he
and
told
he
Triple
showed
H,
his
if I do it,
commitment to it. Yeah. So
if I do it, can we do this?
Yeah, and I mean, I'd love to see it and that him taking the pin in that match, it opens up. He could fight Logan 1-on-1 and be all right with it, and it would be a great match. I fully believe that.
Yeah. It was just it delivered in a big way, and credit to everybody who was involved, including Jelly, who they said lost over 230 pounds at this point. Plus everybody that worked with him over the last 3.5 months. It showed, and I look forward to possibly seeing him again. I'm going to just kind of throw some quick hitters out here so we get through some stuff. Quick reactions to TLC, because first of all, great to see Lazy Booking Podcast alumni Devon Dudley in attendance. Hey, Devon, shout out to you, my friend. Shout out to Devon. We just had him. Christina was like, "Isn't it funny you were just talking to him?" I'm like, "Yeah, it is actually." Obviously didn't expect to see him, but anyway, they have Devon and Bubba Ray in the crowd, and then obviously the Hardys, and great for them again on that stage to promote TNA Bound for Glory is a big deal.
Yep.
So way better relationship, I think, between them and TNA than what the Impact AEW relationship is night and day. But I just want to get some thoughts, because this match to me was insane in all of the right ways. And I mean, they had so many spots, and it was like everything was hit though. Like there didn't look like a botch fest like some of these you do. And then the women get involved, and Candice LeRae, by the way, absolute all-star here. I mean, bravo. And not just her. The reaction of Johnny, obviously through that, and he's like, "Oh, she's okay," and climbing the ladder. And then if you saw, and then I don't know if anybody saw on the post show where he's like, "She fell from 100 feet. We got pushed off 300 feet," and it was like this crazy. And the whole time you just hear Ciampa, as they're like trying to talk, you hear Ciampa going, "Medical, medical." Why is there such a line? It was,
because they went through it was 4 tables, right? That first table,
they did the 2 side-by-side stacked up tables.
that first one, the bottom one closest to the ring, they missed that. They airmailed that one completely. So they airmailed that one completely. So
until the John Cody match, this was my favorite match of the weekend.
Okay.
It was literally just action packed and hyped and adrenaline filled, and it was everything that I had wanted in a TLC match, and it was a giant train wreck in the best ways ever.
Yep.
The 4-corner spot through the table, yes.
I was concerned with the amount of teams they had, and are they going to be able to? Are they going to be able to function and kind of do spots? And they really nailed it. I mean, just and I love the spots where they each go off the ropes and do their thing. Ray Phoenix, and then Street Profits, and I thought that was really well done. And they used the things in the match really well. The hanging from the ladder or from the titles where the titles were.
The Ciampa spot where he goes up with feet.
Yeah, and he sat up, so he missed the spear. That I liked how they paid homage to the first TLC in that way as well.
Yes, in a very creative way.
Yes, definitely.
That one spot where Andrade's and then Phoenix literally jumps on his shoulders and was close.
Yeah. Real close.
The believability, like this
climbed up Andrade, and it was like, oh, that would have been I almost kind of wish I would have seen it not at that moment, but
Right.
I would love to maybe have saved that for an actual spot where you can win a match. Like that was
Yep.
incredible. Any thoughts on it, Mataraki?
I think you guys covered it all. I mean, it was a giant train wreck, but for what it was entertaining as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just sit back and I will say this. I will give them this credit because we talk about this. You go back and how many times do they try to do these brawls and these different things at go-home shows to try to sell a program, right? I think it worked, obviously, when Becky got her face smashed in. There are times where it works. A lot of times I think it's just kind of, hat in hand, same old. But I will say, somebody, was it Pete or Andy? Somebody talked about, I thought this would kind of be a cluster.
Yeah.
Okay. So watching that segment that went off of I think it was Smackdown, or it might have been Raw. Either or. That actually made me say, "Oh, this is gonna be pretty crazy." Like they sold me on how crazy it could be with what was it, 6 tag teams?
Yeah, 16.
Yeah.
Having 6 teams trying to get at one prize. I have to say this. This is I'm gonna pull a Ritz nitpick here. I hate the bar with the clasp. Take the fucking titles down, please.
Oh, yeah.
It creates so much of a distraction because half the time they can't get it off.
Yep.
Do the old school. Take the goddamn titles off. Oh, it drives me crazy. Anyway, that's my old guy nitpick. Like back in my day, Shawn Michaels jumped for it and hung from the title and fell off and had to climb again.
Oh, yeah.
He couldn't jump and do a bar and do pull-ups, although it did create the cool spot for Ciampa.
But Money in the Bank, they take the suitcase off. They don't take the whole bracket down, right?
No, they take just the suitcase.
Just the suitcase, yeah.
I remember this year. But I hate it. Get rid of the freaking bracket. Or take the belt off of it.
I thought that Spanish Fly, though, from who was it? Ray
it
to
was Axiom.
Axiom. I thought they were going into the second row.
That was
Dawkins he waited as late as possible.
Yeah.
That was very impressive.
Yeah.
I had them going into the crowd.
Because Dawkins is not a small dude.
So I want to go around the circle here before we sign off. This is our last point here. I want you to give me one more highlight of something we haven't mentioned, or if you want to give somebody a shout out as like a star, like an underrated or an undercredited star of the show, you could do that. Just give me a little tidbit, and then I want to get an overall grading of the first 2-night SummerSlam. So we're gonna start with Andy, and we'll go around. We'll go.
So shout out to Becky and Lyra. I thought they had an incredible showing. And then I'm excited for Alexa and Charlotte, this pairing. I think it's one of the best tag teams on Raw right now. As far as overall grade, I would have to give this a solid A. I thought it was a great showing across the board, right? The good, the bad, it all weighed itself out. And overall, you walked out of SummerSlam really, really happy.
Beautiful. Mikey?
I want to give a little bit of love to Roman Reigns. I mean, the way that they kicked off night 1 with that tag match, and when he walked out, he looked like $1 million. Like, it's obvious that Roman has been in the gym. He's been getting himself ready for, the big PLE. And Roman, he, no pun intended, he had his working shoes on Saturday night. Because he absolutely carried that match, worked his ass off, and holy shit, that dive. I mean, he got so much air and was so far. I actually thought he was going to overshoot it.
If he didn't tuck, he was. He had to tuck.
Pete. Like he had to tuck at the last minute, or he was screwed.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was some of the best, non-main event Roman Reigns work that I have seen in a long, long time. So let's give some love to the Tribal Chief.
Agreed.
I like that one. Good, Eric.
So I'll go in reverse. So I would give it a B, a high B, only because there were there were some excellent matches, but I think there were a few misses. I think the steel cage match with Solo and Jacob could have been better.
Agreed. Very lackluster.
Tiffany Stratton and Jade was all right. I think Tiffany is getting a lot better. You could tell in each match she's getting better. I think Jade's still got a little bit of ways to go. But the highlight,
I am seeing growth in Jade, though.
Yeah, but I think there's still a ways to go, and I don't want to talk too much into that because I guess
sure
I
we'll
will
go down that road at some point, Eric.
Yeah, we'll go down that road at some point because our conversation a few months ago about Queen of the Ring, Jade won Queen of the Ring. She beat Asuka, and she has a victory over Naomi. But then you don't put the title on her, and now what's next? So, but want to go back to Alexa and Charlotte. You remember when Charlotte came back? She got booed like crazy, and nobody wanted to see her. That night in the night after the Royal Rumble, she just got booed out of the building.
Was that Chicago?
I think so.
Yeah.
She got booed out of the. She couldn't. And they talked about that on Unreal.
Yeah.
We talked about that on Unreal. But where she's come since WrestleMania, didn't know where she was going to go. The story of her losing at WrestleMania, she didn't qualify for Money in the Bank, and then Alexa wanting to team up with her. She didn't want to team up with her. Then she's forced to go in there with her. And then you get into a tag team title match. You didn't win the first time because, you were in that, was it a triple threat or something like that? Four-way, yeah. But now that whole story of them being friends and not being friends, and then the match itself had a lot of story where, Alexa accidentally hits her. And they set up this whole thing where she's getting ready to finish off Roxanne, and you see Charlotte in the background. You think, is she going to take her out? No, she doesn't. She goes ahead and kicks Raquel, and they wind up winning the tag titles. I just think that story and where Charlotte has come is so intriguing, and I'm really intrigued on where how that's going to continue, and where people were really into that match, and people were really into the finish as well. So I'd like to give a shout out to those two. I think, where they've come and not knowing where that story was going to go and to now, I think is really well done.
I think it's fair to mention too, just to piggyback off of that real quick, Eric, you can see, we talked about watching Unreal. Is that what that was the name? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Watching Unreal, and just kind of hearing them talking, you're seeing just so much more of a likable version of Charlotte. And I think more of a real version of Charlotte, a more vulnerable version of Charlotte. And I've heard her, they might have been maybe on the post show where they asked her what made this happen. And she went into their past of, these two were pretty close in NXT, and they kind of drifted apart for a while, right? They grew, and they both grew to the top of their division, but at very different rates, sometimes on different brands, and it wasn't the same, right? Charlotte and Becky ran together for a while. That relationship deteriorated, and the parts she doesn't mention, I do think factor into it. She's had a lot of heartache and loss in terms of personal relationships in her life over the last 3 or 4 years, and then you take on top of it Alexa Bliss, who at the same time, for very different reasons. She goes away to have a child. She goes on a hiatus.
Yep.
Charlotte goes away. Charlotte ends up having a knee injury. She has almost that same confidence issue that her father, Ric Flair, had. So now they both kind of come back around the same time. And I would guarantee there was a level of insecurity on both. Can I still do this? Can I do it at this level? There's a lot of new women here. When you talk about the Stephanie Vaqueras and Julias and all these different women that have come up in the Tiffany's that have come in the division. Can I hang with that level? And I believe that this storyline may have developed over a unexpected bonding behind the scenes between two women who were close at one time and kind of indirectly went through a very similar experience and through similar insecurities and were able to relate to each other and build that bond again. Because it comes off as incredibly genuine to me. And I think that's why we're captivated by what's happening between them two. So to your point, Eric, that's a great call out. And I thought it was important that we really dive in before we jump. I want to make sure anyone who watches this understands there's a whole backstory to that, which I think is why it works.
And I think real quick too, if you really want to build this women's tag team division, what better representative do you have than the 14-time women's champion Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss? And Chrome, you and I talked about this, I think, in the last podcast. Like I think them two together is something that is going to be special. And you've got a slew of opponents you can put in there with them. Yep. And then when it's all said and done, whoever turns on who, because eventually that's probably going to happen. You've got yourself a big match on a big stage, probably. I mean, you could take
swerve
this.
has to be that Alexa's the one to turn. I mean,
because this is the first time you have an opportunity to really give Charlotte a face run,
right?
Yep.
Because her character is fragile now.
Yeah, she's vulnerable. She's now softened up. What better time to get her when she's that vulnerable? 100%.
I agree with you. I don't even want to discuss how we get there, though, because I would love to see.
The ride.
I'd love to see a solid 8 months to a year of these two running together, almost like you do with Damage Control.
You got Kabuki Warriors. You got Roxanne and Raquel. I'm sure you're going to do that again.
The deep division. It really
it's very deep.
Could be a deep division.
Yep.
Who's your all-star?
All-star. And this person, I heard it. They did an interview, and somebody was talking to them, and they said it finally clicked. Naomi's kicked it into another gear. She's kicked it into another gear. I mean, we were all, after what happened, it was me. I did it for The Rock. That it was going on that type of trend. Once the music changes, something for the Money in the Bank, and this maniacal laugh that she has now, and just when we talked about when you change character and you go so far different from what you've been, she was glow. She was bright lights dancing. Now this, didn't even know she liked rock and roll. Didn't know her dad played guitar. The shout out to Owen every time I see the caution tape now, and just getting into this character, the dark makeup. I just want to see where it goes. I mean, and then you can build her up as a credible champion to coming out of this. She's on that level. So where if you see her versus a Charlotte, you see her versus a Becky, you see her versus a Bayley. I love Stephanie Vaquer. She has no shot at Clash of Paris, in my opinion. It's just way too short. Way too short right now. Her time will come. But then, we talked about with the men, right? Who's the next person to replace Cody? I don't think you have that same question with the women's division. When one cycles out, you cycle another one in. Whether it's whether it's a heel, whether it's a tweener, it doesn't matter. Right?
Hunter said it on Unreal.
He said it's the backbone.
For some reason, the Performance Center, within 6 months, these women just get it. And these guys are just starting to figure it out by 6 months.
The division is so deep.
I mean, you got Jordan and Mariah May still in NXT.
Yeah. Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And they really don't have anything to do with them. But I would say night one for me, stories. Night two, action. Overall, I'm going to give it a B+, A-, right? B+, A-. But it's very nitpicky, right? Because we were kind of worried about how we were really going to do a 2-night SummerSlam. They accomplished it. They gave us great matches. Once again, a whole purpose of a steel cage, I would say, is my biggest gripe, is to keep people out. Yeah, it's to keep people out. That's why you have a steel cage match in the first place.
It never did.
But they gave us moments. They gave us great matches. Some low points. Really, one low point. But outside of that, the kind of novelty match that we had with Jelly and Logan, that hit. You know what I mean? So AJ Dom hit. I'm trying to think. There was really any other match that didn't really have a story not going around it, right? So it wasn't anything that was kind of thrown in. So that's what we could say for a long time, is to where every match on the card had something leading into it, right? And some stories are resolved, some chapters have closed, some chapters are kind of still open, You know, so that's what you kind of want. You want to close some doors, leave some doors open, and then leave some stories unfinished, and the stories are still being told.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mid-season. SummerSlam's like a mid-season finale, right?
Mm-hmm.
And,
Right.
And because in a couple of months you're going to be prepping up for Mania season. In fairness, I think you guys kind of nailed most of you know what I mean. So so Pete, we were on the same page there. So I'm going to go with that, and I look at this women's division, right? And particularly I look at Io and I look at Rhea. And these two women had an unbelievable, possibly, arguably match of the entire weekend match at SummerSlam WrestleMania 41.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to Evolution, and those two just alone have arguably one of the best women's matches of the last 5 years.
Yep.
Or more. Common denominator. And Bianca's amazing too. So she was at the 41.
And we're talking about the division. She's not even in it right now.
And yeah, and then you look at, then we come here. And for Naomi, with this character still developing, I think some of us, we can admit, we're not on board with it at first.
Mm-hmm.
But to have the moment with your dad on the ramp.
Incredible.
That is cool shit, period.
Mm-hmm.
But to see the level that she's working at as a heel, and I mean, it's not just on the microphone, although that has gotten way better in the last month.
Yeah.
But it's the in-ring work. Like, she is at a work rate with, in my opinion, probably throw Charlotte in there. We're looking at 1A, B, and C of the best women in the world in wrestling.
This is Trinity from Impact.
Yes.
With a heel persona.
She's comfortable in her own skin. You can just tell, like I said, we talked about, Logan and Drew and them having fun. She's having fun. She's you can just tell she's comfortable doing what she's doing, and it just shows, and she's believable. Mm-hmm. And I love the bicycle or the tricycle on her promos when she's driving around like on social media. It's so funny.
It's her suitcase.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's suitcase.
Yeah.
I don't understand what Jimmy did to secure that, but my hat's off to you indelibly.
They call him Big Jim for a reason.
Oh my God.
Well, he did what the Cowboys refused to do, which is he invested in it early so that he didn't have to pay as much down the road.
And bam.
Well, that's it. So for me, my overall grade of the card, I would have to go. I would go B. I would go B plus. I think the misses, you guys were spot on. I thought the match of Lyra and Becky overall was really good. Mm-hmm. I still think Lyra should be a star. The zip tie spot.
Oh God,
Eric, we talked about it, and I'll be honest. I watched the match back because my sister had missed the match. I missed the spot where the hands came out and went back into them.
I did too.
Like, at that point, it's over. Get rid of them.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's very similar. Like, these wrist tie, these zip tie spots, and we talked about Royal Rumble. I think it was like 2020, whenever it was Roman and or 2021 maybe, when it was Roman and Kevin Owens.
Yep.
And the handcuffs that they couldn't get off of them, and it ended up delaying the end of the match. These spots need to stop.
Yeah. And then you have a spot like Solo and Jacob where he just doink, it rips off like it's made of plastic.
Well, the thing is with those big guys, like, this is not a knock to the women, but their wrists are smaller and their hands are smaller, so they can kind of slide out. I mean, unless you're going real tight, and because they're not going to actually tighten it. Like if someone was putting them on them, they need to have the wiggle room to move around. Yeah. So I think in this case, you need to not use them at all. Period. Do tape the goddamn hands together.
So where they can bite it. Yeah, you can bite it and then kind of tear and go through, or just, if you're going to do a spot like that, work through it and think of every scenario into where it can cause a delay and it won't be smooth.
Yep.
By that, and I agree, the steel cage match could have been a little bit better. Honestly, I loved everything else in the card though. Yep. I can't complain about anything else. Yep. So anyway, appreciate all the comments out there. I appreciate you guys for coming on and jumping on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
SummerSlam. This was a great time. You know, always when it comes to these big shows, especially, I try to get a good group of guys together to have these conversations. So, and I can't think of a better group than we had today. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate our viewers out there. You know what else I appreciate? I appreciate our sponsor, Dr. Paul Vidal at Specialized Physical Therapy.com. For paying the bills, getting us going, and honestly, even for our opening topic of conversation. But again, great show, guys, today. Pretty soon, stay tuned. We got Eagle season rolling around. I told you guys once a month, we're going to be dedicating a lazy booking episode to Birds Talk with our friend Brian Heffron. So we're going to be looking to lock that in fairly soon. I've been on vacation. I'm going on another vacation, so I didn't really book any guests. I'm going to North
Your
Carolina.
life is a vacation.
I'm going. Well, listen, I have a beautiful girlfriend, and that is like rainbows and butterflies and vacations every day. And she's going to tell me as soon as I get off here that I was schmoozing her. But
Ew.
I am. I'm going to North Carolina. So
Where?
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
North Carolina. I'm going to be doing that, and then I'll be back. So I really didn't book any guests beforehand. I figured we'll just have maybe some fun shows or something in between, which this was. So Pete Evans, Andy Ritter, Eric Archer, Mike Mataraki, myself, Chrome, Tom Arno, and everybody here at A2D Radio. Love you guys. We appreciate you. Andy, what do you always end the show with?
Until next time, guys, tell somebody you love them. Peace, love, and joy. We're out of here.